How am I supposed to take it down now? Like, I'm scared of this thing. This thing is like, ooh! Oh, no, 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 just kidding, just kidding. It took me 2 tries. Oh, no! It took me 3 tries. Hey guys, hey, how are you doing? First video of 2021, and here we go. With the full force, with everything, with all my money that I'm broke. I'm broke. The pile that you saw is the pile in Plaza the Big, Barnes & Noble Big, there are books there too. Welcome to enormous book haul. This is the biggest haul I've ever done, ever. This is over 60 books, probably 70 books. And I think this is the biggest one I ever watched also, so. You're here for a treat. I forgot to turn the fan off. Okay, do I do it all again? Nah, it's fine. So I wanted to do book haul in December. It was supposed to be my birthday book haul because it was my birthday in December, and yeah, some things happened, but what I want to tell you is that I did accumulate quite a bit of books in December. As you could see, more than half of it were gifts to me. I got a lot of gift cards, and you bet your butt I'm ready to spend all of that money. Got myself books. For my birthday, I went to Leavenworth. This is like a Bavarian village theme. Everything is like very cool aged and stuff. There was like a light festival, and I was able to go to a bookstore there, which was an incredible experience. If any of you guys are from Washington State, like highly advise you to go there. It's so beautiful. It's just very atmospheric, and I got some great books from there. So that's that. I have over 60 books to talk about, so let's just do it, okay? Okay, where do we even start? The first book is Piecing Me Together by Renee Watson. I've heard multiple YouTubers talk about this book and how great it is. This is a YA contemporary book with, like, I think hard-hitting, about this girl who lives in a poor neighborhood and she believes she needs to get out of there, and like it's her story maybe of like coming of age. I heard great things about it, as I said, and I was really interested in checking it out. Yeah, I have What Mama Left Me by her, and I haven't read that yet, but both of the books got so much praise, so I'm definitely really interested in picking it up, and I don't know what else to say. I am actually super excited about all of these books, even though there's some that I don't know anything about, so try to keep it short, Catherine. I mean, you were gonna be here for a while. Then I have I Let You Go by Clara McIntosh. This is a mystery thriller, I believe. One of the Lala's favorite mystery thrillers of all time. I honestly have not even read anything that she read, so I can't even reference like if her reading taste is my reading taste, but like I keep getting so many recommendations, and I honestly base my like thriller and horror buying experiences from her, as well as YA contemporaries. But a lot of those books were honestly influenced and pushed upon me by wonderful booktubers, so I hope I will get you to buy some books, because this is what we're here for. Then I got Devil in Ohio by Daria Polatin. I honestly have not heard anyone talk about this book. I found this book on myself. I placed a book outlet order in December, and it came in December, so I wanted to do an unboxing, but I was like I can't. I couldn't wait to like unbox it, so I unboxed all of the books, and this was one of them. I don't remember what were the others. Hopefully I remember by the time, but like I saw this wonderful cover, and this is about, I think, a cult. There's some like church involved and like small weird town vibes, and I think this is all that I can remember. Like the cover is just everything for me. I am really in the search of like good horror stuff, so I picked this one up. I'm so excited checking it out. I got a little bit smashed after falling so many times, but like this is an exciting book. This is the book that I honestly saw in the Barnes & Noble. I was like, this looks the most bookish book I ever seen in my life. It's called The Book of Speculation by Erica Sawyer. I never heard anyone talk about this book or review this book or read this book, but I saw it for like a reduced price, and I was like, this sounds really interesting. Then I have Asylum by Madeline Rocks. This looks creepy as heck. Also, this book is filled with some like crazy pictures, not like images like drawings, but like pictures of things. There's like unusual things happen in the asylum. Maybe someone is like possessed or something, but I don't know. When I saw this book, I was like, this looks amazing. Yes, I cover buy sometimes. Do not judge me. We've all been there. But like this sounded so cool to me, so I picked it up. So after I read A Man Called Ove, I understood two things. Two things is that Frederick Backman is an amazing author, and yes, I bought some Frederick Backman, I believe, here as well. Yes, I did. And second thing, what I understood is that I love stories about like old men and their like life stories, whatever. So I picked up actually two books that I found that were recommended to me. If you liked A Man Called Ove, you could read The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out of the Window and Disappeared by Jonas Jonasson. First of all, like, coolest title, coolest cover, coolest author's name, like, what? Yeah, this is pretty much exactly what the title says, about the man who just said that I don't want to die, this is my 100th birthday, but you know, heck you, I'm a lot old, I'm going traveling, I'm like doing things. I think it's supposed to be like humoristic but also like touchy life story type of thing, so I picked this one up. I'm so excited to check it out. And also I found The Secret Diary of Hendrik Groen, a 61-and-a-quarter-year-old. That's it. I don't know. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun for me to check it out. Okay, then I have thrifted a few books. This is one of them. This is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I think this is like post-apocalyptic book of father and son, you know, surviving some stuff. I've heard just amazing things. It's one of like classics I think that you're supposed to read in your lifetime. When I saw it, thrifted, I was like, yes! Then let's get through a few more classics that I thought I may read one time in my lifetime. I actually have Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury that I already read in high school. I read it in English. I think it was one of my first books I read in English. I think it was a simplified version of English, but anyway, like, I know the story, I read it, and I actually loved it. So when I saw this again thrifted, I was like, I need to get and reread it and like, you know, refresh my memory of this book. I know exactly what it's about. We did this play in theater, so like this is definitely loved. I just would like to read it at some point in my life. And then I have East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I've read Of Mice and Men, and I also have, I think, The Grapes of Wrath in this bookshelves somewhere. This is a thick and sad book. A lot of people say that this is the classic, the heavy burn classic, like you gotta just struggle through it. A lot of people don't like it, but you know what? I didn't hate his writing. I would like to try more about this author. And I saw this wonderful, beautiful edition. I was like, might as well. Then I found, okay, I know this is bad, but like when I was in Barnes & Noble in December, I was looking for a specific book, and I actually went to like a true crime stuff, and I wanted to find more stuff by like Jack the Ripper, and I couldn't find anything good there. But when I was like waiting for the girl to help me to find something, I saw this book laying in like a stack of books. I don't know if they put it away for somebody to buy, or they were just like there for them to like put them away in shelves, but somebody wanted them, but I snatched them. I snatched one book because like I saw that. And this is the autobiography of Jack the Ripper by James Carnac. I've never heard anyone talk about this book. I don't know if it's good, if it's based on something real. I know that I want a good Jack the Ripper book, and if you guys have any recommendations, like, I'm open to hear it, because I love true crime, I love mystery thrillers. I want to find out more about this killer. And I saw this book and I was like, I didn't say anything, just grabbed it and ran. But like, I'm so excited. One of the other books I got at the book outlet was One of the Boys by Daniel Magariel. Sure, we're gonna go with that. I don't even remember what this one is about, honestly. I think the parents are like in the middle of the divorce, and the boys are like in the middle of this like war that's happening between the parents, and like they're getting abused, and something like that. There's like family drama and the boys being abused. This is all I remember. This is such a short book. I did not expect it to be this short. This is like barely 100 pages. 150 pages, but I don't know, I'm so excited. I love family drama. Then I got The Death of Mrs. Westway by Ruth Ware. I've heard great things about Ruth Ware. I read one of her books before. I read The Woman in Cabin 10, and that was like an okay book. I think I gave it 4 stars, so I was definitely interested in reading more about her. I have The Lion Game right there, and I just keep hearing that this is one of her best works. My bun is falling. Free crazy hair is what we have from now on. The other book that I got at the book outlet that I've heard about, and I wanted to try more of like mother and daughter relationship, and this book was been recommended and I found it there. I was like, yes. The Girl in the Garden by Camilla Nair. I don't know anyone again who read this book, but I was specifically looking for mother and daughter relationship, like family dynamics between them. I don't know like what kind of relationship, what kind of situation or setup it is. I know that it's been recommended as one of like best portraits, and if you guys have any cool like family dynamics books that are focused on the family relationship between the members, like please leave your comments down below. Recommendations always welcomed. So yeah, I got this one. I don't know much about it, but I kind of dig the cover, kind of like it. Another one from book outlet, we have Hotel of the Lost by Suzanne Young. Another cover by, like, this is gorgeous. I don't know anything about this author of this book. I hope that it was like haunted hotel vibes type of thing, maybe like, you know, the Shining vibes, but I don't think that's quite possible. It says the previously titled Hotel Ruby. Let me know if you read it and what you thought about it. 3 books that I found at the Dollar Tree. That's really cool. So the first one we have is either Kira or Kara. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's by Cynthia Kadohata. This is a novel focused again about the family relationships. They're from like a Japanese community in South Georgia, and the family becomes ill and they start falling apart. Again, some things are taking them apart. Love each other, like how you lose each other, and what a great price you pay, and just like respecting, loving each other, like this like wholesome message. I honestly need more of that in my life right now. So when I saw this one and I got pretty good reviews on a Goodreads, I was like, yep, snatching that. And then I found a mystery thriller from Dollar Tree. I don't know, and I know I didn't have a good experience from Dollar Tree there before with the mystery thrillers, but I have A Look at Me by Lisa Gardner. Listen, I know Lisa Gardner. I know people reading her. I know there's Right Behind You and then Find Her, one of the books that she wrote. I don't know if she's my style or she's my cup of tea, but I know that she is really like good with mystery thriller, and you can legitimately buy her like at Barnes & Noble and stuff. So I don't know, I'm snatched it for $1 and we'll see if I like it. And another one that I picked up is How Are You Going to Save Yourself by G.M. Holmes. I never heard about this book, but it really caught my attention. I'm pretty sure I think this book again explodes the rights of African Americans in like their lives and how unfair society treats them, and then their kind of like personal struggles, again what they're going through with understanding their place in life on top of being so discriminated. Again, I've never read the book, never heard anyone talk about it, but I hope I like it, and the cover looks amazing, by the way. I kind of like the simplistic silhouette. I think it looks cool. Then I picked up this on Barnes & Noble, and I don't know anyone talk about it. I'm kind of intrigued. It's called Supermarket by Bobby Hall. I know it's by Bobby Hall. There's no author's name, but hey, he's right here. Suspense, maybe mystery thriller. Something happens in supermarket. The crime scene happens and things get weird. This book was published in 2020, I believe. No, not 2019. Okay, it's just red and says Supermarket. I was so intrigued when I saw this book. Again, a mystery thriller. I love myself one, so let's check this out. Who wants to buy to read it? It's gonna be fun. Then some weird stuff happened. First of all, I got the book recommendation from one of the booktubers, and I was kind of terrified. I went and pre-ordered it at the Barnes & Noble because they didn't have this book. So I patiently waited for this book to come, and it finally came. And then Michaela from Books Alana makes the video where she talks about her new picks for her book club, and one of the books is House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. This is called one of the most disturbing and horrifying horror book of all time. This is a very heavy book, by the way. I did not expect it to be this massive when I ordered it online, but this is, yeah. The book itself, the format of the book looks weird. It looks something of like textbook, but there's some pictures and some things that you really have to work through reading this book, and some things like you have to go to the mirror to read the book. Like they're just like, people are getting disturbed and spooked, and they say that this is one of the best horror novels they've ever read. I am so intrigued, first of all, because like what a coincidence that I was getting this book to read for myself, and then Kayla's like, yeah, this is the pick, and I'm like, yes, yeah, somebody like, they will discuss this book, so I'm really excited to participate in that discussion. I do not reach that much horror. I want to get into more horror. Everything I've read from was just from Stephen King, but like, things are looking up for me. We're gonna read a lot of mystery thriller this year and horror, because that's all I'm in the mood for. Another book that I thrifted, and I again got a recommendation for this book, and when I saw it, I was like, wait a second. Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. I think this book was recommended to me as a premise of somebody reliving their life over and over again to learn some lessons. I've been highly disappointed with How Many Lives of Harry August, this book that I read last year. Was a horrible reading experience. Honestly, I was so disappointed, and so I want actually a book with the same premise but with like a good execution. And I went to the thrift store, got this one, and I got another one. In the same thrift bookstore, I found both of the books that were recommended to me. Life After Life and Replay by Ken Grimwood. I am just so, was like, what do you mean? This is the two books that decide like this, what you read if you want that premise to be fulfilled good. There's so much dog hair in there. But like, and I saw them both in the same thrift store. So I snatched them up really quick. So excited. Which one should I read first? Let me know. Then I saw this beautiful thing in Barnes & Noble, and I honestly couldn't pass it up. I watched the film, and it's Spanish, but I kind of loved it. I didn't understand much because it was in Spanish, but like the Pan's Labyrinth, or Labyrinth of the Fawn, I know that they're in the movie. I didn't know if there's like a book, if this is a translated new edition of the book. Let me see when it's like been published. Maybe that will give me a clue. The copyright is 2019, so it's just like a recently came out book, but this is a beautiful book with tons of like just like cool illustrations around the pages and just like some other illustrations, and I thought this is such an astonishing, beautiful book. And check this out, like, hello, this is like from the movie. This is exactly, I guess, how he looked in the movie, so I'm like, wow. Then I thrifted The House on Mango Street by Sandra Sinceros, one of the classics that you like supposed to read in your lifetime. So excited to find this copy. I know a lot of people just like been loving and reading this book. I don't know much about it. I just got it because I heard about this book and I wanted to read it and someday, so I got it. Then I got Exit West by Mohsin Hamid. I've heard about this book quite a bunch. I think it's 2018 when it came out, or 17, okay. People have been like kind of reading it and obsessing over it. I think it was maybe like book of the month. I don't know much about it.
The country, they're on the brink of civil war. 10 people meet.
I think it's a romance. I think it's a romance in the middle of like the war zone stuff happening. This is definitely not what I usually read, but the cover is stunning and I heard great reviews. I might as well, right? So yeah, I did. Okay, so this is a weird purchase because I don't remember. I think I was still looking for some hard-hitting books about family stuff. This is Night Waking by Sarah Moss. So the promise of this book is that a woman is just struggling with, I think, writing. Is that what she's doing? Just like she's overwhelmed, she cannot sleep. And then her son finds a skeleton of a boy in their yard or whatever. And so now she has to deal with that, as well as like her own family drama, understanding everything, placing everything together, as well as like this kind of like a weird event happened that she has to deal with as well. I never heard about anyone talking about this book, but again, I did my own research of like finding some hard-hitting family dynamics situation, recommending this one, and again, I ordered it and it came to my Barnes & Noble, so yeah, I'm really excited to try it and see how it goes. I'm definitely in the mood of something heavy that make me either cry or poop my pants, so yeah. I was reading a lot of Stephen King, and then I wanted to try more horror stuff, so I picked up his son. This is the first book that I wanted to try by his son, Nosferatu, I think. Nosferatu? I don't know how you say it, but Joe Hill. This is his son, and he is a writer as well. This is a massive book, so I'm having great hopes. Honestly, this brings me so much joy. As I said, thick, small books is like what I like to hold in my hands when I read. I don't know much about it. I just know it's a horror, and it's Stephen King's son. Then I got Highly Illogical Behavior by John Corey Whaley, sure. This is a contemporary, which examines a mental illness. Solomon Reed hasn't left his house in 3 years, 2 months, and 1 day, which is fine by him. This is, I think, is there either about anxiety or some other mental illness, which I was looking for more books after I read Words on Bathroom Walls. I wanted more YA hard-hitting contemporaries with mental illness representation, and this has been recommended, so I went ahead and picked it up. I don't know why mental illness, I really don't remember. I think it was anxiety or maybe something like that. I don't want to say wrong things about it, but I'm excited to try it out. The next book I've been wondering for a long time. A lot of booktubers read it, a lot of booktubers do vlogs on it, and a lot of booktubers cry. And no one ever read this book and have not cried. And this is exactly what I need right now. So, A Little Life by Haya Yanagihara. I'm so sorry. I am so excited to read this book. I've heard just amazing things. I love how thick it is. I love how painful it will make me feel. I'm just bracing myself. I don't know what's the right time. What should be the right time? When you feel completely bad, read this book, or when you feel absolutely great to read this book? What's the right time? I am so pumped about the next book I'm gonna talk about. It's The One by Joan Mars. A dark thriller, and the promise of it is that there's a simple DNA test that can reveal who you're genetically made for, with what person on earth you're genetically supposed to be together. And I think this book reviews a few stories of different people and how that test, I guess, not really like helps them to figure out their love life, but like honestly ruins their lives. Since we're halfway through, I want to talk about the book that was sent to me by my friend. She's an author and she wrote her first book. It's a debut novel and it's fantasy, which boom boom boom, there's so many exciting things. It's called The Adjourner Realm by Rebecca Carroll. The way I know this girl is so fascinating. I know her husband from Russia. We met in Russia. He was a missionary there, and then his family helped me when I came to Arizona, I came to United States, and like then he got married and I was on their wedding, and it's so incredible that she was able to like, you know, go and pursue her dream and finally like come up with a book. Like, this is so incredible. She was able to send me an ARC and even sign it. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I don't know much about it. I like into going my books not knowing much, but I'm just gonna read you what it's about and you can decide if you like any fantasy. Okay. General Warren Northright is failing in the last war against the darkness. Vile monsters have slaughtered his men, and now he stands alone. With an expected return of the search party, a spark of hope ignites within him. With a new-found map and a scratch of parchment as his only guides, he gathers his surviving comrades to help him find the beacon, which will restore freedom in the Adjourner Realm. His elite team comprises a prince who refuses his throne, a compassionate military scout, and a reserved Goliath. With time running out for fortitude, Warren delves into the territory of the darkness. If he fails, he'll lose his tattered honor and condemn his land to ruin. Cool stuff, fantasy stuff, which I don't read much, but I'm so excited. I read Brandon Sanderson last year for the first time, and like I want to try more fantasy, and like thank you so much, Rebecca. I'm so excited. If you'd like to check out this book and learn more about it or get your hands on it and read it together, I'm gonna link it down below where you can get it. Go support Rebecca, she's an amazing person. So excited for this book, gonna read it this year, yes. The next book I have here is Girls Burn Brighter by Shobha Rao. This was recommended by Kayla's again. One of her favorite books, I think 2019, whatever. I've known nothing about it. I honestly know nothing about it and went ahead and picked it up. This is how easy it is to persuade me to read a book. It's just tell me, oh my god, I like it, and I'll be like, okay, done, put it on my list. Then I have another mystery thriller that I've heard mixed review of. Some people say that it's great, some people say they hate it. I don't know. And it's Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. I know that some people, it was like the first book in people's life to like introduce them to mystery thrillers. Some of them are being like reading it and be like, yes, this is disturbing. The ending I've heard is either fantastic or horrible. So I don't know where I will land, but I love like reviews like this, you know, when people are completely in a different spectrum of liking the book. I'm like, I need to know, like, even if I'm not interested in the book, like, I need to know where I stand. Book outlet, it's The Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. I've really never heard anyone talk about this book. I just was really intrigued by the cover. I've noticed that it's told in verse, and it reminded me of the Inside Out and Back Again, in one of the books that I read. Oh my god, what year was that? And I was really excited. That book was told in verse as well, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's just like the author shares her childhood growing up as an African American in the 1960s and 1970s. Like historical fiction plus like coming of age story plus African American rap. Like I love it, and it's told in verse, like fantastic. If you're still here, like thank you, because I'm struggling. Should I get some water? No, we should push through. We have only like 30 more books left. 20 more books, probably. The next one is This Is How It Always Is by Lori Frankel. I've heard about this book from someone, and I don't remember anything. When somebody talks about the book and like what it's about, and fantastic, they love, you know, reading this book, and I'm like, yes, and I put on my list, and then I go to the store and I see it and I buy it, and there's the cycle, okay? But I don't always remember what books are about. But if I put them on the list, it means that I've heard many people talk about it, and I liked it, what they said, and I was interested. So this is one of the examples of that. Station 11. Where did I have to go to get this book? A lot of places. I don't know why no stores had it. I was looking for this book for a while. Post-apocalyptic, one of the books that everybody keeps talking. Gotta read it. Like everybody says coronavirus, who like read this book? Then I went a little bit crazy on Agatha Christie. Because it was my birthday, I was like, well, let's get some Agatha Christie. And so I did. I got 6 books by her. I love Agatha Christie. I love reading her. And then I realized that I really don't have that many books. I think I have like 4 books by her that I haven't read. So we need to fulfill my collection. So I got a few. Crooked House by her. This is like a standalone mystery, which I'm excited about. Then we have 5 Little Pigs. This is what? Hercule Poirot mystery. Then I picked up The Secret Adversary. This is actually, yeah, Tommy and Tuppence crime novel, which I never read from their perspective before, so I don't really like the cover, but hey, that's exciting. Then I have A Murder is Announced, a Miss Marple mystery, which I've never read before either. I mean, I have never read them before, but I'm saying like, I never read from Miss Marple. I've read from Hercule Poirot, and I left that. So then I have Ordeal About Innocence. It's now a limited TV series. Oh wow, I didn't know, but that looks fun. And the last one is Nemesis. That's it. This is all the books. They kind of go together, kind of all red and orange, like that. Another book I got, a book outlet. I think it's the last one. Is that the last one? I don't know. Good Night Boy by Nikki Sheenan. If you think it's a sad book about the dog, maybe death of the dog, I think you're right. It's kind of verse, but it's kind of not. I love the cover. I think it's precious. And the premise of the book, you know, the dog saves his life, and then he saves the dog's life, and they both affect each other, and then stuff happens. I'm just like getting heavy talking and thinking about this book, but I'm so excited to check it out. I read The Kite Runner, and then I saw this thrifted, 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khalid Hosseini. I wouldn't say I loved The Kite Runner, but I was definitely conflicted. But I was really intrigued by his writing, so I wanted more, and I got this. Then I was looking more for historical fiction, and this was recommended to me. Codename Bertie by Elizabeth Bain. I don't know much about it. Honestly, World War II probably book, which, yep. A British spy plane crashed in Nazi-occupied France. The pilot passengers are best friends, but just one of the girls have a chance of survival. Ooh, 2 mystery thrillers that were recommended to me by Kayla. Again, I can't help myself but just trust her blindly. So this year I'm definitely reading all of the mystery thrillers she's been recommended to me and seeing if our tastes match. The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay and An Unwanted Guest by Cheryl Lapina. Thrifted both of them together at the same store. Again, how is it possible? How is it possible? Did she leave them for me there to find? Would be nice. Thank you, Kayla. The How and the Why by Cynthia Hand. Hard-hitting, very contemporary, about some stuff. I don't know. Again, heard great reviews. I love the cover. So bright. Wow. Then I have two random books. First one I got because it was, I think, discounted, and I was intrigued because All That Solid Melts into Air by Dara McKeon. I read that it's about, so I'm reading Russia 1986. A rundown apartment block in Moscow. A 9-year-old prodigy plays his piano silently for fear for disturbing the neighbors. And like there's some Russian stuff. And then Chernobyl power thing happens. And unimaginable things happen that will lives change forever. So first of all, Irish guy writes a book about Russia. Gotta check it out. I don't know if it's gonna be good. I don't know what the heck. I'm just really interested of checking books out by people who are not from Russia writing about Russia. And then I thrifted this one as well. I don't know. It's Never Fall Down by Patricia McCormick. I have no idea what that is about. I think I read the synopsis and I liked what it said. Into the Water by Paul Hawkins. I read The Girl on the Train. I love The Girl on the Train. Into the Water, like, yes. Just want to try more about the author, you know what I'm saying? That's a small writing. Okay. Okay, next one is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I read the Grishaverse trilogy. Love that. I have the first book somewhere behind my books. And then I just wanted the second book in the series as well. Barry Carroll by Josh Malerman. I never even knew that this book existed. I love Josh Malerman. I read the Bird Box. And I would love to check out more stuff by him, and I saw this. I was actually looking for another book by him, but it's good. I found this one. And another one! One of the Kayla's recommendations, again, found at the half-price book, so like it's like a thrift store. Where They Found Her by Kimberly McWright. Sure, I don't know anything about any of these. I know that both of them like mystery thriller type of thing. Maybe this one was more horror. Let's talk about the books that I was able to pick up at that fantastic place, Bavarian Village that I talked about, Leavenworth. I got only 6 books there, but I spent $100. But I got some of the books that I was so excited about. So the first one is Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. I've heard so many people obsessing over this author, his writing. Never checked him out before. Really excited. I've heard this is one of his best works, so I picked it up. There were many books by him, but I don't know if I'm gonna click with him. I'm excited to check it out though. This was the first book that I picked up at that store because of the atmosphere, and there was a lot of like classics that were like in weird and fascinating editions. I should have filmed all of that, but like I saw this book and I was utterly just fascinated by this. This is The Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. I know for a fact that this is very dark, very weird. Okay, then I picked up the book I wanted for a long time, Silka's Journey. This is by Heather Morris. This is like a companion novel to Tattoos of Auschwitz that I read last year in 2020. Loved it, so I really wanted to read a companion novel, a sequel, to find where Silka's journey went, where she came from, and what happened after the concentration camp. Then I picked up 2 books that were recommended to me by Kayla. I'm a sucker for her content. The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Honestly, this mystery thriller had accumulated so many great reviews over this year. I was on a list, I think, of the best thriller. Did it win? Yes, it won the best thriller of the year on the Goodreads. So excited to check it out. Like, talking about priority, this is it. Please don't fall. And another one is A Lot's Way by Dear Sea Little Badger. You know what? Kayla, if you're watching this, please somebody tag her. You cut absolutely correct. This is such a well-made book. This is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I don't know much about it. I know a lot about it, but I don't know how to put it into words. And finally I picked up the book I've been anticipating for entire 2020. This is The Anxious People by Frederick Buckman. Like, usually I would not go ahead and buy a book for $28 brand new, especially if I'm not gonna read it first, but I'm gonna read it soon because I'm excited that Frederick Buckman is getting into my heart. The book that I accumulated at the Walmart the second it came out, Concrete Rose by A.J. Thomas. I'm so excited to be holding this book in my hands. I don't know, like, if you're still watching this video, like, thank you, but like, if you know how much I love Angie Thomas at this point, I read everything by her, all 2 books that she came out with. So excited to get my hands on it. I am just, Maverick, becoming a father, getting to like become the person he is, his coming of age story. Oh my gosh, what else do I wish for? Nothing. Okay, everything we have left is the 7 books, brand new books that I went ahead and bought myself yesterday because I had a gift card from my birthday. First one, the book that I've been hunting for months that no bookstore had for some reason. I don't know what's the problem. A House at the Bottom of the Lake by George Malaman. Again, I've been looking for this book forever and I couldn't find it for the life of me. Finally saw this, snatched it so fast, I was like, this is it. I'm buying you. Another one of the books that have been on my list is To Try Something by Riley Sager. I've been hearing so many great things about him, that's right, it's a male. So I didn't know which one to pick up, so I picked up this one. Final Girls. This is, I believe, his first published novel. I may be wrong, but I checked all the 4 books that were there, and this is the earliest published. So I decided to go ahead and start picking up books in his publishing order and see if he grew, if I like it, if I don't. Hopefully I'll make my way to The Home Before Dark. This came out, paperback of Kings of Scars. I don't like hardcovers, I don't. And when I saw this, also they changed it to like teal cover instead of all being gold, which I like. I don't know how I feel about it. This is such a knockoff of like Russian emblem, of Russian coins. I like myself a Leigh Bardugo to just read it once a year, casual reading, so picked this one up. Oh, it smells so good. This book I've been waiting to come up in softcover for so long, and paperback, because it's only been in hardcover for like 8 years and it finally came out in softcover. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see it in the store. And yes, I really wanted to get Librarian of Auschwitz by Antonio Atrube. This is a YA, contemporary historical fiction. It features books in the library. This is everything I want. This is everything I want. This cover is stunning. I'm so glad that they didn't change the cover for the soft cover. This is exactly what it was for the hardcover, and it's the same for the soft cover. So beautiful, so excited. Then actually my husband picked up a book. He started getting into books. I started giving him my fiction books and he started reading them, but he's just in the middle of his first one and he's been loving it. So I said, go ahead and pick up a book. And do you know what he picked up? I'm like, are you sure? This is The True by Nick Cutter. This is considered one of the most disturbing body gore horror. Gabby was just talking about this book so much, and I told my husband what it's about. He's like, yes, I want this. I didn't think I want this. Like, I do not like body gore much. I like horror, more psychological, more like kind of messing with your head. I don't know about this one, but like, hey, he picked it up. He's gonna read it, and if he's, you know, didn't poop his pants, maybe I'll pick it up. Quieter Girls by Rory Power, which I was so anticipating to read it and get my hands on it. And also The Chain by Adrienne McKitty. Lord of the Flies, but a female type of protagonist. Everybody's been either loving it or hating it. I hope I love it. And then another one that I just haven't heard many people talk about, but I love the promise of this book, is that you get a phone call and your kid is being kidnapped, and the only way to get your kid back is to kidnap another kid. So yes, this is my last book. We did it. I did it. I am so excited. I have so many books to go into with in 2021. I have a very serious sit-down video to guys film for you next, with a lot of life updates and like kind of talking about where my channel is gonna go and what I'm gonna do with my life. Thank you guys so much for watching this huge book haul. Hope you enjoyed it. Go check out Rebecca's book. I'm gonna link it down below again. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!